Delta's mission is to connect people and build bridges between communities around the globe. But connecting the world and preserving it for future generations can't be mutually exclusive. Which is why we became the first and only airline to voluntarily cap our emissions at 2012 levels. And in February 2020, we went further by committing to become the world's first carbon-neutral airline on a global basis. But to impact climate change, we must reimagine flight. And the first step in our commitment toward becoming carbon neutral is combining immediate actions with long-term investments to protect the future of our planet. This is the greatest challenge of our lifetime for both our industry and our world. It's why we wanted to take a moment to connect with you and share our path forward towards zero-impact aviation and find opportunities for us to build a better future for generations to come. Because you shouldn't have to choose between seeing the world and saving the world.
In February 2020, Delta committed to becoming a carbon-neutral airline. To do this, we have to find ways to address all the CO2 emissions from our business, from the flying of our planes to the powering of our buildings. In the near term, that means relying on high-quality carbon offsets and expanding our use of sustainable aviation fuels, or SAF, which can reduce life cycle emissions by up to 80% compared to conventional jet fuel. The aviation industry is just starting this journey, and there is a lot of work to do. Take SAF, for example. The market is so underdeveloped that as of today, all the SAF produced last year would only power Delta's fleet for one single day.
Our industry needs a new path forward. It needs investment in innovation and addressing the impact aviation has on the environment. On our path to carbon neutrality, we will chart a course for zero-impact aviation, a future where air travel has no impact on the climate, air quality, or waste. But the effects of climate change are being felt right now. We must balance near-term solutions, like carbon offsets or SAF, with investments in long-term solutions, so that we are immediately tackling our impact today rather than waiting. There are three paths in our journey to zero-impact aviation: reducing and removing carbon, educating stakeholders, and building coalitions.
At Delta, our dedication to keep climbing extends to the communities where we live, work, and serve, which is why we've committed to addressing all our carbon emissions moving forward. Today, that means relying on high-quality carbon offset projects. A carbon offset is a certificate that represents the reduction of 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide emissions through a carbon offset project. Though there are many kinds of carbon offset projects, the simplest example is the preservation of trees. When we contribute to a forest protection project, we are providing the community an alternative to using forests for short-term gains. In the case of Rimba Raya in Indonesia, a project we recently invested in, the forest there was slated to be converted to 4 palm oil estates. But through carbon investments, the forest will remain intact.
In the future, carbon offset markets might include new carbon sequestration technologies like direct air capture, where machines draw CO2 out of the air and permanently store it in deep geological formations, or use it to create products containing CO2. As part of our path for carbon removal, we will invest in these types of breakthrough projects to accelerate development, which is currently limited and very expensive. In addition to carbon offsets, we are looking holistically throughout our company to optimize what we fly, the way we fly, and the items we put on our planes. We're also investing heavily in cleaner fuels, so that by 2030, 10% of our total fuel consumption will come from sustainable aviation fuels. We will also be working with our suppliers on aircraft of the future.
A green future requires the engagement of all. And at Delta, we believe that listening leads to innovation, and that by hearing the needs, ideas, and dreams of others, we can chart a better course towards sustainable action. That's why we plan to offer our customers a way to partner with us in a future of zero-impact aviation. To ensure that our customers see the results of their partnership, we're making transparency the cornerstone of our approach, meaning best-in-class reporting, cross-industry collaboration, and exceptional fund management.
Advice and guidance from leading experts are critical to ensuring we follow the right pathway to achieving our commitment to carbon neutrality. And we're taking engagement a step further by building coalitions, a central component in our path towards zero-impact aviation. We're partnering with experts such as MIT's Industry Liaison Program to help us understand and quantify the environmental impacts of aviation and collaborate on solutions. We're also partnering with other sustainably minded brands, helping to drive the industry forward by co-investing in SAFs to offset emissions from business travel. Coalitions with investors, suppliers, competitors, and industry champions across the aviation and energy ecosystem will drive down costs and increase the production and consumption of transformative technologies for fuel, propulsion, and carbon sequestration. With these groups, we will pursue incentives for SAF use and carbon-focused early technology investments so we can lead the industry push towards transformative, sustainable efforts.
We believe more strongly than ever in our mission to connect the world, to foster understanding across cultures and nations while creating equitable opportunities in the global economy. Whether you're traveling to build a business relationship, connect with friends and family, or experience a new part of the world, you can fly knowing that we share your commitment to a better, cleaner, more sustainable planet. And the steps we're taking today and in the years to come will help ensure that it stays that way for future generations.